First you draw a little bit of blood. Often we take 8 tubes of 10 ml, but we don't add any additives, completely different from the PRP. The tubes are very simple, and they have a special glass coating on the inside. And then we put it in a quite simple device, a centrifuge. Costs around 2,500 euros, and that's the investment that you have to do. The tubes have to spin for 12 or a little bit more minutes at a certain speed, and not all centrifuges work the same. The only small problem that you might have is that the time between taking the blood and putting it into the centrifuge should not be longer than 60 seconds. That's why often we start with 2 tubes, and we add 2 new when we collected the blood in the new tubes, and we go to 8. After 12 minutes of centrifugation, you have a nice separation between the red blood cells at the bottom of the tube, a acellular plasma on the top, and in the middle you can find what we call the LPRF clot. And it feels like an escargot, a snail. You can take easily the clot out of the tube, as you see here, and you remove the remaining red blood cells because they are not useful for the job that you are expecting the LPRF to do. And then, my friends, you put them in a compression box and you compress them by gravity slowly for a time of around 5 minutes. What you will see is that there is some fluid leaking out of these membranes, and this is called the LPRF exudate. A very nice exudate, my friends. It has antibacterial activities, and it has a very high concentration of growth factors. I have tried to put it on my skull, but there it didn't work. 5 minutes later, you will obtain these membranes. Membranes that you can use to replace the expensive membranes that you are using today. The time between taking the blood from the patient and having the membranes is around 20 minutes. You can use the membranes during the next 3 hours. And read this. It is very simple, and it is not expensive because you can create these membranes for a very low cost. And how do we think the LPRF is working? Well, first of all, it protects the wound when you cover a wound with a membrane. It releases up to 14 days a high amount of growth factors. It has a clear antibacterial capacity, my friends, also against periodontal pathogens. We are finalizing the study at the moment. It's just unbelievable. It promotes angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, vasculogenesis. It improves the circulation of stem cells, and probably it also contains stem cells. That is why LPRF is called a second generation platelet concentrates. I have met over the last years many colleagues asking me, is there some science behind the LPRF? Well, my friend, I have to admit, there is not a lot. I went on PubMed, and I have placed platelet-rich fibrin as a term. And, my friends, I was able to find 484 papers. Who is telling me that there is no science? And if you look in blue, are those in dentistry. Last year, more than 80 papers in dentistry about the use of PRF. PRF plays an important role And I've learned from Nelson, and I did steal these pictures from Nelson, my friend here at the front. Perhaps Nelson, you should stand up for a second. Come on. Sure. This is the guy who made me crazy. He has a huge fight with my wife because it seems I have no longer interest in my wife and more in the LPRF. That's another issue. It has a significant impact, my friends, in medicine. And I'm so proud that in Leuven we could save the life of one patient already based on this. Complex wounds. This is half healed like nothing. They use LPRF to close the connection with the brains after surgery with an endoscope going through the nose. They use it to close a leakage from the cerebrospinal fluid. This is a lady who had a huge wound on her head, which this area had been used for a tissue transplantation, and it did not heal. And she had to walk around with a bandage, and it was dripping fluid out of this bandage. Sorry. This is the LPRF on top. And even hair might be a future for me. And this is a person who had a huge cancer in the face. And either you graft this area or you just apply LPRF. And look what happens. After some weeks, the wound is closed. This person that put his fingers in a dangerous area. Healing. No scar tissue. You can use it to treat chronic osteomyelitis. Look, this, I think everyone finished lunch, I hope. Look, this nice leg here. Before and after a few applications of LPRF. This wound on the skull, gone. This foot here, diabetic foot, scheduled for amputation, my friends. LPRF, and gone. So, if it can work in medicine, and if it can work in very difficult situations, it should work in that. And that is what I would like to share with you. I think, no, I'm convinced that LPRF has a role in bridge preservation, in sinus augmentation. You can coat your implants in patients which have a less comfortable bone. You can even put an implant in a socket without contact with the bone and just fill the area with LPRF. You can use it during immediate implant placement for GBR. You can create a block with it. You can enlarge the gingiva instead of taking a graft from the palate. For the treatment of periimplantitis. For the treatment of infrabony craters, my friends, and for the treatment of medication-related osteonecrosis or Sorry? Those with the dotted line, in my mind, need more clinical support. But the other ones have clear proof in science. I cannot manage all these topics in this short presentation, but I would like to invite you to come to Leuven. I know it's soon, it's in 2 weeks from now. But what can you do in a week? So it's in 2 weeks from now, between October the 14th and the 16th. Look how beautiful Leuven is, by the way. October the 15th, we will have 5 sessions of 1.5